and this is a story that involves Robert actually. He was then, when that work was acquired for the NGV, curator of contemporary art at the NGV, and we were on a family trip to London, and in those days curators rarely got travel funds, and so
really or rarely?
Rarely,
right? Rarely
got travel funds, and Rob, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, you had an annual budget of about $35,000 to spend on contemporary art, international art. So we were in London and went to visit Anthony Doffey, who was the big dealer. He's only recently retired, very important dealer of contemporary art. And we went there and had lunch, and he said afterwards, "Do you want to see a few things?" And we said yes. And Rob was incredibly bold, I thought, because we went down and we sat in the white viewing room, and these art handlers brought in one Andy Warhol self-portrait, and it was amazing. And they were going to take it out of the room, and Rob said, "No, leave it here." And he said, "Can we have another one?" And they don't like doing that, the dealers. They want you to only see one. But anyway, they obliged Rob, and eventually we had three lined up. There was the one that Rob eventually selected for the NGV. There was a red one that was ultimately acquired by the critic Robert Rosenblum, and is now in the Tate collection. And there was another one. Anyway, Rob thought the one that the NGV ended up getting was the one to have, because it was really much more of the street fashion for camouflage, which Andy Warhol was picking up on, but also because the whole persona of Andy Warhol was one of, he was a camouflage. You never really did see the real person, so it was ideal. Anyway, we got home, Rob went back to work. Patrick McCackey, who was the director then, had gone to Harvard for 9 months. Ken Wood, who was the deputy director, said to Rob, "You'll never get this through." And Rob thought, oh well. But a few months later, so Anthony Doffey was happy to keep a reserve on it for a few months. Or was it a few months or a few weeks? Anyway, 2 months. Anyway, Patrick was brought back to the NGV. Nick, you might remember this. Back to the NGV by the Women's Association to give a lecture. And he was only in town for like 2 days, and Rob nabbed him and he said, "Patrick, we've got to see this possible acquisition." And Patrick said, "Buy it." So Rob went home, and it was Friday night, and he rang Anthony Doffey from home and said, "We're reserving it formally, you've had it on half reserve, we're going to buy it." And I think it was on the Sunday. I went out and bought the Sunday papers, and I came back to Rob and I said, "You've got to see this." And the front headline was, "Andy Warhol dead." Oh. And of course, we